Welcome to This Explainer. If you're a CEO, a founder, or an executive decision maker looking to expand your footprint, you are exactly where you need to be. Today, we're diving straight in and framing customer acquisition in a totally new light. We're moving away from the old idea that getting new clients is just a game of chance, or, just about who you know. Instead, we're going to unpack the source material to show you how customer acquisition is actually a critical, measurable science.
So, I have to ask, are you guessing or are you growing? I'm asking this provocative question right out of the gate because we need to challenge that traditional mindset. Look, in today's high-stakes environment of international competition, relying on luck or personal connections, that's basically a recipe for stagnation. If you can't measure exactly where your next customer is coming from, you're really just guessing.
Here's our roadmap for predictable international growth today. First, we'll cover the shift from art to science. 2, the customer acquisition funnel. 3, powering growth with data. 4, B2B global export strategies. And finally, 5, building your growth engine.
All right, let's jump right into section 1, from art to science. Think about how traditional marketing used to work. It relied pretty heavily on luck, right? You'd open up shop, lean on personal connections, and just kind of wait for buyers to show up. But digital science, it relies on search, analytics, and cold, hard data. Consumers and B2B buyers nowadays, they're searching online, comparing alternatives, and reading reviews way before they ever speak to a salesperson.
But hey, even with all this incredible technology, we absolutely cannot forget the human element. Human psychology still drives the sale. People don't just buy products simply because they exist. They buy them to solve problems. And those purchasing decisions are heavily influenced by trust, social validation, like reviews and testimonials, and emotional connections. Digital marketing really hits the nail on the head when it addresses a clearly defined problem and builds that trust.
Moving on to section 2, the customer acquisition funnel. This buyer journey has 5 critical stages. It kicks off with awareness. That's when they first discover your business. Then it moves into interest, where they actually start engaging with your content. Next up is consideration, where they're sizing you up against alternatives based on value and reputation. Then comes the magic moment, conversion, where a prospect finally becomes a paying customer. And lastly, retention. The beauty of digital tools is that they guide the buyer's journey seamlessly from that very first moment of discovery all the way to them becoming a hardcore brand advocate.
So what's the core objective here? Visibility. Being discoverable on Google, LinkedIn, or YouTube is literally the non-negotiable first step for any brand. If you don't exist in the search results when a buyer is actively looking for a solution, well, your acquisition funnel is empty right from the start. You absolutely have to be visible where your ideal buyers are spending their time online. And here is a vital reminder for the C-suite. The funnel does not end at the sale. Retaining customers is actually often far more profitable than acquiring new ones. Satisfied customers frequently become your most profitable repeat buyers. Plus, they provide that crucial social validation and testimonials that feed right back into the top of your funnel to attract new prospects.
Let's pivot to section 3, powering growth with data. If you take away only one metric from this explainer today, make it this one, cost per acquisition, or CPA. This is the foundational math of growth. It measures exactly how much it costs you to acquire a brand new customer. You calculate this simply by dividing your total marketing and sales spend by the number of new customers acquired in that same period. It's a real game changer because it replaces all that marketing guesswork with a crystal clear financial metric. When you know your CPA, you know exactly how much you need to spend to predictably scale your revenue.
But here's the thing, CPA doesn't exist in a vacuum. You've got to pair it with customer lifetime value, or CLV. This measures the total value a customer generates over their entire relationship lifecycle with your company. You find this by multiplying the average purchase value by the average purchase frequency rate, and then multiplying that by the average customer lifespan. Calculating CLV alongside your CPA is exactly how executives measure the true long-term health and profitability of their acquisition systems. If your CLV is significantly higher than your CPA, you've got yourself a highly profitable growth engine.
And all of this builds up to a massive advantage. In the digital space, everything is 100% measurable. Every single click, every website visit, every video view, and every interaction creates data. That data can be tracked, measured, and continuously optimized. So you're no longer throwing money into the dark. You're investing in a completely measurable system.
Now, let's look at section 4, B2B global export strategies.
Now, B2B customer acquisition is inherently different, and honestly, far more complex than consumer marketing.
Buyers conduct extensive research. There are usually multiple decision-makers involved, often a whole procurement committee. They require highly detailed technical information, and because of all this, they have much longer buying cycles. You really can't just run a flashy ad and expect to land a multi-million-dollar export contract.
So, how do you actually reach them? Well, here's the tactical toolkit required for enterprises, like export-oriented companies in Bangladesh, to successfully connect with buyers thousands of kilometers away. First, international SEO ensures you pop up when global buyers are actively searching for your products worldwide. Next, global B2B directories establish your international credibility across borders. And finally, virtual exhibitions help bridge those physical geographic gaps, allowing you to showcase your capabilities without ever needing to buy a plane ticket.
Remember what we said earlier about human psychology? Well, in B2B environments, particularly global ones, trust and expertise are the currency. You establish this authority through high-value content. We're talking white papers, industry reports, webinars, and detailed case studies. When you educate a global prospect first, you position your company as the trusted authority they actually want to do business with when it's finally time to sign a contract.
Finally, Section 5, building your growth engine.
First things first, we have to avoid the common pitfalls. I want to warn you about these frequent, costly mistakes that can derail even the best-funded global expansion efforts. If you don't define your target audience, you're basically marketing to no one. Inconsistent branding confuses prospects. A slow, poor website experience? That kills conversions instantly. Ignoring your analytics means you can't optimize. And short-term thinking will burn straight through your budget because B2B acquisition requires real consistency and patience.
To execute all of this properly, companies often turn to strategic partners. The source material for our explainer today highlights Trade and Investment Bangladesh, or TNIB. They position themselves as more than just a business consultant. They act as a long-term partner in sustainable growth, equipped with both the consultancy expertise and the technology solutions to help you actually build this growth engine.
TNIB provides comprehensive end-to-end services to help businesses compete confidently in international markets. It's really a blend of digital execution, things like search engine optimization, Google Ads, and analytics, combined with hardcore strategic consulting like buyer-seller matchmaking and market entry assistance. It's exactly this combination of digital science and business strategy that drives tangible results.
To summarize our core message today, customer acquisition has evolved from an art into a science. This insight from MD Janal Abdin, founder and CEO of TNIB, really hits the nail on the head and hammers home our overarching theme. It's a measurable, scalable, and continuously optimizable process driven by data and strategic execution.
So I'm going to leave you with a final, lingering thought. Is your company ready to thrive in the digital global economy, or are you still relying on luck? Take a hard look at your current systems. If you are measuring your cost per acquisition, or if you aren't visible in international search results, it is time to stop guessing and start applying the science of growth. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.